Namaste everyone and welcome to the new episode of Bharat Bhagya Vidhata's Breaking It Down. Today we are going to talk about Gupkar Resolution 2 and its effects on Jammu and Kashmir politics and the national politics. So why is it called Gupkar Declaration 2? Now there is one Gupkar declaration which has been executed in the past by the Kashmiri political parties, but this one is a little different. And we'll be discussing what it contains, when was it done, what are the effects now, why has it become suddenly relevant today. But before that, we have to first identify different parties in Jammu and Kashmir. There are three major parties in Jammu and Kashmir who are regional parties, and the two are the national parties. The first one is the National Conference by the Abdullahs, which was founded by Sher Kashmir, which is Sheikh Abdullah. Then his son ran it for some few years, Mr. Farooq Abdullah, about which we have made one video, and you can click on this link and we will find that video here. And now his son, which is Omar Abdullah, he runs the party, more or less. The second is the PDP, which is People's Democratic Party, which was run again by the Muftis, which is run by the Muftis. It is now run by Mehbooba Mufti. Her father founded the party. And then there's Jammu and Kashmir People's Conference, the Sajjad Loans Party. So these are the three parties which are major regional parties in Jammu and Kashmir, and the two parties which are national parties are Bharatiya Janata Party and Indian National Congress. Now, the demographic of all these parties is the effect of National Conference and PDP, especially PDP, is different in different elections. For example, if you see the general elections, then the PDP has lost very badly in the general elections of 2019. But National Conference seems to hold its ground because it won 3 seats. Indian National Congress won 0 and BJP won the another 3. So BJP, who did not have a significant presence in Jammu and Kashmir, has now made a good foothold in Ladakh as well as Jammu. If you see the state legislature, then again BJP seems to have backed a lot of seats. Congress seats have reduced from last legislative assembly elections to the 2014 legislative assembly elections. National Conference seats also seem to reduce, again because they were the incumbents. PDP seats seem to have increased, but the latest figures say that National Conference has sustained its vote share, which is very less, which is close to I think 7 or 9%. BJP has 43% of vote share. Congress has reduced its votes percent to 27%, still a lot. And again there's PDP, which has decreased its vote share significantly. So these are, and then there is Jammu and Kashmir People's Conference, which has 2 seats in the Legislative Assembly, but nothing else. So these are the regional and the national parties and their combination and where they stand more or less in the whole political scenario. Now the Gupkar resolution. If you remember last year in the month of July end and August, army had started mobilizing a lot of forces. The police forces were called in Jammu and Kashmir, and people knew something was going to happen. Because the leaders knew something was going to happen, all the leaders or all the prominent leaders in Jammu and Kashmir came together and they signed on what is called the Gupkar resolution, the Gupkar declaration part 2. What this declaration says is basically what we have available in the press statement, that whatever you should do in Jammu and Kashmir Valley, you should do with the consent of the people of Jammu and Kashmir. That's one point. The second point is that the special status of Jammu and Kashmir shouldn't be hampered in any way, which is Article 370 and Article 335A. And some of the other points where all the Jammu and Kashmir parties will cooperate together to maintain what has been reiterated in the first 2 points. This Gupkar Declaration 2 was signed on 4th August 2019, and 5th August on 2019, the Honorable Home Minister of the country went into Rajya Sabha and started the process of abrogating the effect of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir, and rest is the history. Then Kashmir went into a prolonged lockdown, which was again supported by a few, protested by a few, but that is not today's topic. What is this Gupkar resolution? Why does this Gupkar resolution hold prominence today? In last week, or I think this week, Mufti's daughter, which is Mehbooba Mufti, late Mufti's daughter, Mehbooba Mufti, who was in house arrest for a very long time, was released. Now, Farooq Abdullah and Omar Abdullah were released some time back, but she was released right now. And then all the parties in Kashmir held a meeting at Farooq Abdullah's house, where they reiterated their pledge to Gupkar resolution. Now, this has been the story so far. Now we'll go on to the analysis of this whole story. The basic story here is that this Gupkar resolution in 4th August, on 4th August 2019, was about actually pledging about the status of Jammu and Kashmir and about the development in Jammu and Kashmir and so on and so forth, because the leaders of Jammu and Kashmir wanted a political activity. For more than 6 to 8 months, Jammu and Kashmir was under first presidential rule, then governor's rule. So they wanted a political activity. They wanted a political scenario to happen in Jammu and Kashmir, which was not happening due to the prolonged army present, the heavy army deployment, so on and so forth. So that was the purpose of Gupkar resolution at that point of time. Pakistani ministers had actually supported Gupkar resolution, to which Farooq Abdullah said that we don't need your help. We are neither in the service of Delhi, we are neither in the service of people across the border. We serve the people of Jammu and Kashmir. That was the scenario on 4th August. What has happened from then to now, after the abrogation of Article 370's effect, then the COVID-19 lockdown, first the Jammu and Kashmir lockdown, and now the Gupkar resolution 2 and the pledge to Gupkar resolution 2 has become more about these parties' political survival. As I had stated again in the previous value, National Conference, the PDP, they are now breathing for their political survival, because, as I again had explained in last time, people are concerned about Jammu and Kashmir's status, but no one is asking these parties to come to rescue. That is their problem. They want to make themselves relevant again. Now the Gupkar resolution and the pledge has become about their own relevance in the whole political scenario. And again, this comes into the background where central government is working very tirelessly towards providing different facilities to Jammu and Kashmir without any political establishment. I will again put a link to one of my seniors, who's Sarang Gosavi, and his Asim Foundation, who have been working tirelessly for past at least 3 to 5 years in the education sector of Jammu and Kashmir. And I saw his latest video on Facebook where he states that everything after the COVID-19 lockdown and abrogation of 370, and he is stating that from Srinagar, Dal Lake's banks of Dal Lake, where he says that everything is normal, Kashmir is peaceful as it was before, and people are back to their work. So when the scenario is leaning towards normalcy, when the scenario is leaning towards people being comfortable with the situation, again, I am not generalizing everyone, but this is what the prima facie scenario in Kashmir right now reported from the ground zero. So when people do not have to take the help of political leaders to seek normalcy, then the relevance of those political leaders is decreasing. Again, the influence of National Conference Farooq Abdullah on Hurriyat has completely diminished, because Hurriyat is now in shambles. Many leaders have resigned from their posts of Hurriyat and now alone, or mostly have quasi-retired from their politics. So the last year has been a complete scramble in the political scenario of Jammu and Kashmir, and these leaders are somewhere trying to make a comeback, trying to make a splash in the political scenario, and let's see how that unfolds, because Farooq Abdullah has been making a lot of unfavorable statements that we will take help of if needed, we will take the help of Pakistan, if needed we will take the help of China to restore the status of Article 370. Again, that has been analyzed by me. Now comes the interesting part. The interesting part is that PDP and NCP have been traditional rivals in the politics of Jammu and Kashmir. So this is just like a chitty fund or some home bet that someone has to win, so someone will pick the political benefit of this Gupka resolution too and come back, and they will start the democratic republican cycle which is present in America, which was also present in Jammu and Kashmir for a few years, where there was sometimes there was PDP in power, sometimes there was NC in power. So they want to reinstate ki we should be the poles of Jammu and Kashmir politics, not Indian National Congress, certainly not Bharatiya Janata Party. So they want to create, uplift that kind of circle also. And the third is significant absence of Congress in all the meetings which have happened till now. Now the Congress leader has cited medical emergency, but then the uncomfortable position of Congress is they are in power with a party in Maharashtra which supports the abrogation of Article 370, which supports the stance taken by the Bharatiya Janata Party when again they were in power back then. But again, even after, I assume and I hope that Shiv Sena still stands strong on their position in Kashmir. So they don't want to again lose their coalition with other regional parties in the rest of the countries just for their already losing battleground in Jammu and Kashmir. So that was my long analysis of Jammu and Kashmir's politics and Gupka resolution and the changed scenario of Jammu and Kashmir. I hope you like this video, and if you want us to come up with more videos and analysis and current scenarios, please hit the subscribe button, like the button, and share these videos as much as possible, because again Jammu and Kashmir is an integral part of India, and the divisive politics of Jammu and Kashmir has to stop. Peace has to come back to the valley, employment generation has to be done. So a lot of productive work in Jammu and Kashmir is pending for a lot of years. Jammu and Kashmir has to be brought in the mainstream politics. Thank you so much.